Reprogramming your beliefs about money is the foundation for achieving financial success and building lasting wealth. Many people grow up in environments where limiting beliefs about money are passed down from generation to generation. These beliefs become deeply embedded in the subconscious mind, shaping attitudes, behaviors, and decisions related to finances. Beliefs such as money is the root of all evil, rich people are greedy, or I'll never be rich because I wasn't born into wealth, act as mental roadblocks. These ideas operate in the background, influencing how individuals perceive opportunities, risks, and their own potential. In essence, before someone can become rich externally, they must first become rich internally by changing their core beliefs about money. Reprogramming your beliefs begins with identifying the negative narratives you've been telling yourself. These narratives are often subtle and unconscious. They might show up in your reaction when someone talks about wealth or in the discomfort you feel when discussing money openly. For example, if someone feels unworthy of financial abundance, they may unknowingly sabotage opportunities or avoid financial risk, even when success is within reach. This internal conflict stems from an old belief that wealth is reserved for others, those who are smarter, luckier, or born into it. To begin the process of change, it is essential to become conscious of these limiting beliefs and recognize that they are not universal truths, but learned patterns. Once these beliefs are identified, they must be replaced with empowering ones. This process is not just about thinking positive thoughts, but about rewiring the subconscious mind through repetition, emotional engagement, and consistent practice. One powerful technique for reprogramming is the use of affirmations. By repeatedly stating positive, present, tense declarations about wealth and abundance, the subconscious begins to accept these new ideas as reality. For instance, saying, "I am worthy of financial abundance," or "money flows to me easily and frequently," daily can begin to create a shift in mindset. Over time, with repetition and belief, the brain begins to align with these new messages, and the old limiting beliefs lose their power. Visualization is another critical tool in reprogramming your financial mindset. The subconscious mind does not distinguish well between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. By visualizing yourself living the life you desire, experiencing the emotions associated with wealth and success, you begin to normalize abundance in your inner world. This mental rehearsal conditions your brain to expect success, which in turn influences your actions, confidence, and decision-making. The more detailed and emotionally charged the visualization, the more effective it becomes. When paired with affirmations, visualization accelerates the process of belief transformation. Environment also plays a crucial role in shaping beliefs. If you are surrounded by people who constantly complain about money, believe in scarcity, or criticize the wealthy, it becomes extremely difficult to maintain a mindset of abundance. Therefore, it is important to consciously curate your environment. This can mean spending time with financially successful individuals, reading books that promote wealth consciousness, listening to motivational content, and engaging in communities that support financial growth. By immersing yourself in an environment that reflects the beliefs you want to adopt, you make it easier for your own mindset to shift in the desired direction. Reprogramming also requires action. Beliefs are solidified not just through thoughts, but through behavior. When you begin to take actions that align with your new beliefs, even small ones, you reinforce the message that you are capable and deserving of financial success. This might include starting a savings plan, investing in your education, launching a side business, or negotiating a higher salary. Each action builds confidence and creates a feedback loop that strengthens the belief in your financial potential. Over time, these actions compound and contribute to the internal transformation. It is also important to be patient and persistent. Reprogramming deeply ingrained beliefs takes time. These beliefs were often formed over years, and they won't disappear overnight. There will be moments of doubt and setbacks, but consistent focus on new empowering beliefs will eventually yield results. Journaling can be a helpful tool during this process, allowing you to track your progress, uncover hidden patterns, and reaffirm your commitment to the new mindset. Finally, reprogramming your beliefs about money isn't about becoming obsessed with wealth for its own sake, but about freeing yourself from internal limitations that hold you back from your full potential. When you release the fear, guilt, or shame associated with money and embrace abundance as a natural part of life, you open the door to new possibilities. The journey begins within the mind, and the results eventually manifest in the outer world. Aligning thoughts, words, and actions is one of the most powerful principles in the process of achieving wealth and personal success. When your internal world is in harmony with your external behavior, you become a magnet for opportunities, success, and abundance. Most people underestimate the significance of congruence in their mindset and daily conduct. They may think positively for a few minutes each morning or recite affirmations, but their words throughout the day contradict those thoughts, and their actions are not in alignment with what they say they want. This creates internal conflict and confusion, not just psychologically, but energetically and practically. Wealth and success require a full alignment where every aspect of your being is moving in the same direction. Thoughts are the foundation of everything you do. Every action you take begins with a thought. These thoughts, whether empowering or disempowering, shape your perception of reality. If you think wealth is difficult to attain, that thought will influence how you interpret financial challenges or opportunities. You may see obstacles where others see stepping stones. On the other hand, if your thoughts are centered on abundance, possibility, and growth, your mind becomes a tool for creating the very conditions that support financial success. Your thoughts shape your expectations, and your expectations shape your behavior. Therefore, it is critical to take control of your mental dialogue and ensure that your thoughts reflect the outcomes you desire. However, thinking alone is not enough. What you say reinforces or undermines what you think. Words have creative power. The language you use to describe your life, your finances, and your goals influences how your subconscious mind processes those experiences. If you constantly speak about being broke, about how hard life is, or how unlucky you are, those words reinforce limiting beliefs and disempower you. Even casual phrases like "I can't afford that," or "that's too expensive," send a message to your subconscious that you are not in control of your financial destiny. Over time, these words accumulate and create a verbal pattern that keeps you stuck. On the other hand, if your speech reflects confidence, optimism, and intention, it strengthens your mindset and supports your growth. The final piece of alignment is action. Thoughts and words are powerful, but they must be backed by consistent, strategic action. Many people fall into the trap of consuming motivational content, engaging in self-help practices, and developing positive thoughts, but they fail to take the bold, practical steps necessary to create wealth. Without aligned action, nothing changes in the physical world. If your thoughts are saying, "I am abundant," and your words are saying, "I believe in wealth," but your actions are rooted in fear, procrastination, or avoidance, you remain in conflict with your stated goals. Wealth building requires intentional action. That means learning new skills, managing your finances, investing wisely, taking risks when necessary, and being disciplined in your daily habits. True alignment creates momentum. When your thoughts inspire your words and your words direct your actions, you move with clarity and confidence. You no longer second, guess yourself at every turn or hesitate when opportunities arise. You become decisive and consistent. This consistency builds trust, first in yourself, then in others. People are naturally drawn to those who are clear, committed, and aligned. Whether in business, relationships, or personal endeavors, alignment breeds authenticity, and authenticity builds influence. As you grow more consistent in aligning your inner and outer worlds, your results begin to reflect that harmony. One of the most overlooked aspects of alignment is integrity. Integrity is not just about honesty with others, but about being honest with yourself. When you say you're going to do something, do you follow through? When you set a goal, do you take it seriously? Self-integrity is a core part of aligning your behavior with your values and beliefs. If you constantly make promises to yourself and then break them, you weaken your internal alignment. Each broken commitment chips away at your confidence and belief in your own word. Rebuilding self-integrity requires small, consistent wins, setting realistic goals and following through, no matter how small. This practice strengthens the connection between your intentions and your actions. Another key factor is emotional alignment. Sometimes people speak positive words and take bold actions, but they are emotionally misaligned. They feel anxiety, doubt, or fear as they move forward. This inner emotional resistance creates tension that can slow progress or cause self-sabotage. Developing emotional intelligence, understanding and managing your emotional responses is essential to staying aligned under pressure. When your thoughts, words, and actions are also emotionally congruent, you radiate certainty and attract experiences that match that frequency. This level of alignment becomes a lifestyle, not a temporary state. It requires ongoing self-awareness, reflection, and discipline, but the rewards are exponential. Ultimately, aligning thoughts, words, and actions transforms you into a person who not only thinks about wealth, but consistently moves toward it with clarity and purpose. It eliminates internal contradictions and creates a powerful flow state where your energy is directed toward your highest goals. This alignment is the structure upon which all sustainable success is built. Wealth follows value creation, not effort alone. This principle is often misunderstood because society frequently rewards and praises hard work as the ultimate path to success. From a young age, many people are taught that if they just work harder, put in more hours, take on more jobs, sacrifice more sleep, they will eventually become rich. However, there are countless examples of individuals who work extremely hard every single day yet remain financially stuck. On the other hand, there are people who appear to work less but earn exponentially more. The difference lies not in the amount of effort, but in the amount of value being created and delivered to others. Value is determined by the impact you have on others, not the intensity of your labor. When you create or offer something that solves a problem, saves time, enhances life, or improves results for someone else, you are delivering value. The marketplace rewards that value with money. It doesn't matter how hard you work if the outcome doesn't significantly benefit others. A person digging a hole with a spoon may be working hard, but they aren't necessarily creating value. In contrast, someone who designs a system that helps thousands of businesses increase revenue with less stress is providing massive value and will be paid accordingly. Understanding this distinction is critical for building wealth. The mindset shift from effort-based thinking to value-based thinking changes the way you approach everything. Instead of asking, how hard do I need to work to make this money? You begin to ask, what problem can I solve? Or how can I help others achieve a desired result? These questions lead to creativity, innovation, and service. They force you to stop focusing on time as the only resource and start thinking in terms of leverage, scalability, and impact. People who become wealthy do so because they consistently find ways to provide value to more people, often through systems, products, services, or intellectual property that extend their influence beyond just one effort. Value creation also involves understanding the needs, desires, and pain points of others. When you take the time to listen and observe what people struggle with, you gain insight into where value is needed most. Whether you're an entrepreneur, employee, or investor, the ability to identify gaps and fill them is a powerful skill. People don't pay for your effort, they pay for results. If you can deliver results that matter, your income potential expands dramatically. This is why some people are paid millions for an hour of consulting, while others earn minimum wage for an entire day. The difference isn't fairness, it's value. The consultant delivers clarity, strategy, and transformation that can generate millions for a business. The compensation matches the value delivered. Another important factor is scalability. Hard work is limited by time and physical energy. You can only work so many hours in a day, but value can be scaled. You can create a book, an online course, a software tool, or a business model that serves thousands or millions of people without requiring additional hours from you. This is how wealth multiplies. The more scalable your value, the greater your earning potential. This doesn't mean all value must be digital or passive, but it does mean that the most financially successful individuals have figured out how to separate their income from their time by focusing on scalable forms of value. Skill development plays a key role in this equation. If you want to create more value, you must become more valuable. This means constantly developing your knowledge, improving your abilities, and expanding your capacity to solve higher-level problems. People are compensated in proportion to the problems they can solve. Low-skill, low-leverage tasks tend to be paid less because they are easier to replace or automate. High-skill, high-leverage tasks are rare, in demand, and often irreplaceable. The more you grow, the more problems you can solve, and the more value you bring to the marketplace. Wealth becomes a natural byproduct of who you become and what you contribute. Perception of value is also important. It's not just about what you think is valuable. It's about what others perceive as valuable. This means positioning, communication, and presentation matter. You must learn how to articulate the value of what you offer in a way that resonates with the people you serve. Marketing, branding, and storytelling all influence how others perceive your worth. If two people offer the same service, but one knows how to communicate the results and benefits clearly, that person will be able to charge more and attract better clients. It's not manipulation. It's alignment between value and perception. Creating value also requires courage. It means stepping into the world with something to offer, risking rejection, and being willing to fail in order to learn and grow. You must be willing to test ideas, experiment, and refine your approach based on feedback. Value creation is an active, evolving process, not a one-time effort. It demands that you stay aware, adaptable, and focused on service. When you make it your mission to create value for others consistently and at scale, wealth becomes an inevitable result of that contribution.